Hello, Days of Our Lives fans. Welcome back to TV Days Drama Digest. Today, we've got an in-depth and comprehensive breakdown of today's intense and emotional episode from Days of Our Lives, airing on May 5th, 2025. If you missed the latest developments, don't worry. We're here to bring you all the juicy details, shocking twists, and emotional roller coasters that took place today in Salem. From life or death decisions to relationship turmoil, this episode has it all. Let's dive in and explore every dramatic moment that unfolded in the world of Days of Our Lives. Dr. Russell's rejection, a ray of hope dimmed. The episode kicks off with a crushing blow for the Brady family, as Dr. Russell, the scientist who could potentially save Bo Brady's life, has rejected their plea for the experimental drug. This drug, which has been developed to combat Bo's life-threatening infection, is the family's last hope for saving him. With Bo in critical condition after his prolonged coma, this drug is the only thing standing between him and death. However, Dr. Russell has refused to provide it to them, leaving the family reeling with fear and uncertainty about Bo's future. Kayla, devastated by the news, updates Sean about Dr. Russell's decision. The weight of this information hits Sean hard, as he struggles with the reality that his father might not survive without this experimental treatment. Seeing no other option, Sean immediately reaches out to Steve, hoping that together they can find a way to save Bo before it's too late. As Kayla relays the crushing news, the emotional toll is evident in every scene. You can feel the desperation in Kayla's eyes and the helplessness she feels as she watches her beloved husband's health deteriorate. This is a pivotal moment for the Brady family, as they must now contend with the idea that time is running out for Bo. Sean's desperate plan. A dangerous mission to steal the drug. Sean, fueled by love and desperation for his father, refuses to accept Dr. Russell's decision. He knows that this drug is Bo's last chance, and he is unwilling to let the opportunity slip through their fingers. Determined to save his father, Sean brings the news to Steve and suggests a risky and morally dubious plan: steal the drug. Sean's insistence that this is their only option creates a clear sense of urgency, as he realizes that without the drug, Bo's life could be over. Steve, ever the protector, is initially against involving Sean in this illegal plan. As a police officer, Sean risks losing everything: his career, his reputation, and possibly even his freedom, by participating in a crime. Steve is adamant that he should handle this on his own, protecting Sean from the consequences. However, Sean, who has already been through so much and feels responsible for his father's deteriorating condition, refuses to stay on the sidelines. He passionately argues that Bo's life is at stake and that he is willing to face whatever consequences come with stealing the drug. This exchange between Sean and Steve highlights the intense emotional stakes of the situation. Sean's guilt over his father's condition makes him desperate to take matters into his own hands, while Steve's concern for his son's future creates an emotional tug-of-war between the two. As they discuss their options, the tension mounts, and it becomes clear that the only way to save Bo may involve taking drastic and illegal measures. Kayla's desperation, a green light for the heist. As the gravity of the situation sinks in, Steve and Sean begin to realize that breaking into Dr. Russell's lab is their only option. In the midst of their moral dilemma, Steve agrees to bring Kayla into the loop. He knows that she, more than anyone, will understand the urgency of the situation and will be willing to help them do whatever it takes to save Bo. Kayla, already devastated by the news of Bo's condition, is in no position to argue. She's emotionally exhausted and desperate to save the man she loves. When Steve updates her on their plan to steal the drug, Kayla doesn't hesitate. She gives Steve the location of Dr. Russell's lab, signaling her willingness to take whatever measures necessary to save Bo. Her decision to give them the green light on the heist shows just how far she is willing to go for the love of her life. However, this moment also underscores the incredible emotional strain Kayla is under. She's been fighting for Beau's life, and now she's being forced to make a choice that could have dire consequences. The weight of her decision will undoubtedly have lasting ramifications, not just for Beau, but for her own future. Johnny and Chanel, a marriage torn apart. Meanwhile, another emotional storm is brewing in Salem as Johnny and Chanel face a serious crisis in their marriage. The foundation of their relationship is shaken when Johnny makes the shocking decision to call off the adoption of Tate and Sophia's child. Chanel, who had been dreaming of expanding their family, is devastated by Johnny's sudden change of heart. Her hope for a future with a child they could raise together is shattered, and she can't understand why Johnny would reject the adoption that was so important to both of them. Johnny's refusal to proceed with the adoption sends Chanel into a tailspin. She's hurt, angry, and confused, and she doesn't want to hear any explanations from Johnny. She feels betrayed by the man she loves, and the emotional rift between them is palpable. Chanel's heartbreak is compounded by the loss of the future she had envisioned, and she begins to distance herself from Johnny, unable to cope with the pain he's caused her. Johnny, meanwhile, is grappling with his own doubts and insecurities about fatherhood. He's not sure he's ready to become a parent, and the pressure of the situation causes him to push Chanel away. His internal struggle is evident as he questions whether he is capable of being the father he thinks Chanel deserves. The uncertainty about his own ability to be a good father creates a barrier between him and Chanel, leaving their future together hanging in the balance. Marlena's guidance, a path toward healing as Chanel and Johnny's marriage teeters on the edge of collapse. Marlena steps in with her unique brand of insight and wisdom. As a therapist, Marlena understands the complexities of relationships and the fears that come with starting a family. She sees the deep emotional pain Johnny is experiencing and offers him guidance on how to navigate his doubts about fatherhood. Marlena encourages Johnny to take a step back and reflect on his feelings. She suggests that therapy could help him work through his fears and give him a better understanding of what it means to be a father. Marlena believes that Johnny can change his mind about starting a family, but only if he takes the time to truly examine his own emotions and confront his fears head-on. Johnny's journey towards self-reflection will undoubtedly be a slow one, but Marlena's advice opens the door for him to begin healing. For Johnny, therapy could be the key to unlocking his fears and helping him come to terms with fatherhood. Whether he's ready for this transformation remains to be seen, but Marlena's belief in him offers a ray of hope for the future. Chanel's frustration, taking out her anger on EJ as Chanel struggles with the fallout from Johnny's decision. She turns her anger toward another figure in Salem, EJ DiMera. Chanel believes that EJ is partly to blame for Johnny's refusal to adopt the child, and she is determined to hold him accountable for the pain she's feeling. Her decision to confront EJ adds another layer of complexity to the emotional landscape of the episode. EJ, ever the complicated figure, expresses genuine remorse for his actions, particularly for his involvement in the bombing that impacted Chanel and Johnny's family. However, his apologies don't immediately heal the rift between them. Chanel's fury is palpable, and she demands that EJ take responsibility for his role in the situation. The emotional confrontation between Chanel and EJ will have lasting repercussions as both characters navigate their feelings of guilt, anger, and betrayal. Meanwhile, EJ remains preoccupied with the incriminating memory card, the one that contains footage of Johnny holding a gun to his father. The lingering guilt that EJ feels over his son's potential involvement in his shooting continues to haunt him, and the uncertainty of the situation adds an additional layer of anxiety to his already tense existence. Chad and Kat, charity auction drama. As if the personal turmoil in Salem weren't enough, another high-stakes situation unfolds when Chad and Kat are at odds over a charity auction. EJ, determined to become the hospital's new sponsor, has pushed Kat into participating in a charity bachelorette auction to raise funds for Salem Hospital. Chad, however, is concerned about Kat's involvement and questions whether it's the right move for her. He doesn't think Kat should go through with the event, but Kat, ever the optimist, believes it's a necessary step for the survival of Salem Hospital. Despite Chad's objections, Kat remains firm in her decision to follow through with the auction. Her determination to make a difference for the hospital is clear, and she sees the event as a chance to secure its future. However, her decision will have a ripple effect on her relationship with Chad, creating even more tension between the two. As Kat and EJ continue to push forward with the event, the stakes grow higher. The future of Salem Hospital and the people involved in the auction will be shaped by what happens next, and no one will walk away from this unscathed. Conclusion: a day of intense drama and emotional turmoil. May 5th, 2025, delivered an episode full of emotional highs and lows, with the fate of Beau's survival hanging in the balance, Johnny and Chanel's marriage on the rocks, and EJ facing the consequences of his past actions. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the complex web of relationships and motivations in Salem continues to captivate viewers. As always, Days of Our Lives brings its viewers drama, suspense, and heartbreak, and today's episode was no exception. With Steve and Sean planning their dangerous heist to steal the drug, Johnny and Chanel struggling to save their marriage, and EJ facing the consequences of his guilt, there's no shortage of intense, emotional moments. Stay tuned for more thrilling updates as Days of Our Lives continues to unfold. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.